Algorithm, data structure and algorithm we are studying now. So what is algorithm? So algorithm is a method to solve problems, and data structure is a method to store information. As the name suggests, data structure. So data is a type, sorting or searching. So here we are doing quick find with eager approach. So here the data structure is integer array id of object size n. So interpretation is P and Q connected if and only if they have same ID. So here we are creating a ID array with some random numbers and with the index as the 1 2 3 4 5 up to 9. So we have to find P and Q have same ID 6 equal to 0. So here you can see ID 6 is 0 and id 1 equal to 1. So 6 and 1 are not connected because their id is different, 0 and 1. So union is merge components containing p and q, means merging the components containing p and q change all entries whose id equals to idp to idq, means idp here is 6 which is 0 which is converted to idq because we have to make both the IDs similar. So after union 6 and 1, so union means connecting. So we have to initialize the union. So here union is 6 and 1. So here you can see index 1 2 3 up to 9. So here union 6 means p, here union 6 index 6 which is union with 1. So its index becomes 1 because it is union 6 is union with 1. So the last one will become the index of 6. So id changes of 6 0 to 1, which changes all 0 to 1 in id, means if the id of 6 changes from 0 to 1 means so 5 becomes 1 and 0 become 1, id of 0 become 1. So this index means these are the numbers as similar objects putting with the same index number. So we will be solving this problem with data structure and algorithm. So quick find with the Java. So here we are using constructor which is creating an array of id which set the value as the index itself, which is 1 2 3 4 5 up to 9. So here we are creating a data structure of array id. So data structure is created here for storing the data objects, and here algorithm starts working, which means the operation we are putting on this data structure in this array. So the first is find operation. So public quick find union function. So here we put the data int n, means n number of objects. So set id of each object itself. So here we have setting the id of each object itself, means index of that object. So id equal to, which is the array here, so id equal to new int n, means number of object is n, and we are creating object by the syntax new with integer array. So inside this object we are using the loop to go to each and every index which starts from index I equal to 0 up to less than n, means if the number n is 10 then it reaches up to 9 and increment by 1, plus double I plus plus means increment by 1. So when we go to 0 then id of 0 becomes 0 and 1 becomes 1, 2 become 2, 3 become 3, 4 become 4, 5 become 5, 6 become 6, 7 8 up to 9. Then after that first operation is find the object and id and creating the id there. Then operation connect. Now we have to connect the p and q. So check p and q id are equal or not, then return trues. If id of p equal to id of q means if p and q have any number which is equal in their id. If it's equal, then it will return back true. If not, it will give us false. Then the operation union. So public void union operation is using here. So first is find, then second is connected, and the third operation is union. So now after putting the data on the object array, then finding the data, that whether they are equal or not, and third step is operation union implementation. After we are getting that int p and q are both have a same id, then we have to find id of p and stores in pid. So pid is storing the id of p, and find id of q and store the id qid. So qid is a variable where integer variable where we are storing id of q. So go to whole array id for int I. Again we are going to whole array to check id of length also. We can use here n, but here n is not passing here, so that's why we are using here. That's why we are using here id dot length, because id is the array. So array's maximum length is n, so I plus plus. So look, id is equal to pid. So if id 0 equal to pid means any number which is stored in the idp equal to this, then set that id to qid, which is the second argument. So here the number of array access is, first we are accessing the array is a for loop in initializing the array with id. So here first array is here for loop which initialize the array with the index number, and second is union operation to go to each id. Here union operation for loop, which means n times we are going to each array, there also n times going to each array to put the object array object, and here searching the array object and make it similar to that id of the qid if matches. So n plus n. So find operation is quick, which is 1 find, and union operation is too expensive because it will take a lot of time, n square plus 1. So what is the maximum number of id array entries that can change from 1 value to differentiate during one call to union when using the quick find data structure on an element? So n minus 1 in the worst case, all of the entries except idq are changed from idq p to idq, because it is already changed. So n minus 1 times we have to access this.